welcome back to today's episode. Today we have the 26th of October. During today's ride it had 15 degrees Celsius, so like almost 10 degrees less than on the previous ride. Obviously the warm wind, this phenomenon isn't something which is happening all the time. Therefore I had to wear my jacket from the very beginning, and also my leg warmers have been necessary. As on the last ride, I had to pass the construction site which was still going on. Looking at the progress they've made, it's probably gone on the next ride. I managed to get there and the traffic light was green, so I could pass it without any problems. To be honest, it switched to yellow when I passed the traffic light, but I didn't care as there is usually not that much traffic. And right in front of me a car stopped, so I couldn't pass right away. I had to, let's say, jump on the sidewalk, which cost me a lot of stamina. And after that I pushed too hard, which used up even more stamina. As usually during the warm-up I try to not breathe that heavily. But due to this short sprint, I couldn't maintain that principle. As the last time I used the flat section which is found in the middle to recover, which worked out quite well. And so far the ride wasn't anything special, like the normal 15 minutes of warm-up. And today's focus was mainly on being more present to test my current thesis that being more present leads to a better performance. Being more present means being more aware of the current situation, which feelings I'm currently experiencing, what am I thinking currently, what is my mood, how are my legs feeling, how are my arms feeling, what is going on in my body. And this process shouldn't be followed by analysis or judgment. So basically if any thought, negative or positive, comes up, I don't try to analyze it, I try to experience it as observer, so like I'm seeing the thought, but I'm not digging into it any further to maintain that present moment. And this is really hard, and I don't really expect immediate results. The hard thing is there to break more than 20 years of thinking. Like I guess everybody which isn't living in the present moment has some sort of addiction to thinking. And as already mentioned, the book I'm currently reading talks about thinking, which is the enemy of everybody, as it blocks your way to being more present, being more into the moment. Just from my feeling, I don't know if it was my imagination or not, I felt a little bit of an improvement. I tried as hard as I could being more present while riding, trying to focus on the feelings in my legs. I try to focus on how I'm feeling during the ride. From my perspective, the performance improved a little bit. And to be honest, also, usually I try to think about ideas and things I can talk in the next episode of this podcast. So today I had a really hard time as I tried to be more present and block out or let my thoughts be as they are, which means in today's podcast there isn't much content to talk about. I also checked the stats with my app. I tried to compare the stats from the last ride to today's ride, and there hasn't been any improvement. To be honest, my performance has decreased, but I guess that has to do with the inaccuracy of the GPS of my phone. And I also didn't expect to see any improvement just after 2 days. As in my opinion, 2 weeks of testing is already quite a short amount of time to see any improvement. As you probably know, or I'm assuming that your body isn't able to adapt that fast. Like just by training once, you won't be a marathon runner. You have to put in the repetitions and the work to see results. And I also tried to compare today's ride with a ride a month ago or something. And also there I couldn't see that much of a difference. The average speed for each section was higher, but I guess being more present in more and more runs will bring a lot of benefits in the long term. And also one thing which I assume is that today I didn't do my active rest day in my lunch break, which could explain why I haven't improved myself today. But as already said, that's just an assumption and has to be tested over the next few weeks. If you like this episode, consider subscribing to this podcast